So here we're going to complete the square, but I'm going to call it a little more advanced. It's a little more advanced because when we're solving this, you're going to notice we're going to have some fractions. So be careful when you're multiplying, dividing, squaring fractions. So the first step is to take our first two terms and put them in parentheses. The next step is to factor out the number in front of x squared. And when we do that, you notice this becomes 1 and this becomes 3 over 2. Okay, we don't want to make a decimal, we want to keep it as a improper fraction, but simplified. Okay, let's keep it simplified. So the next step is to take this 3 over 2, and I'm going to do it on the side over here. Okay, make this 3 over 2, I'm going to divide it by 2, and then I'm going to square it. So 3 divided by 2, or 3 over 2, divided by 2 is the same as saying 3 over 2 times 1 over 2. Okay. When you divide a fraction by a number, or even a fraction by a fraction, we always multiply by the reciprocal, which most people think of the reciprocal as the number just flipped upside down. So 2 flipped upside down would be 1 over 2. And when we multiply fractions, we just multiply across. Multiply the numerators, so 3 times 1 is 3, and then 2 times 2, which is 4. Still, it's squared. Okay, so the next step is to square a fraction. And when you square a fraction, you're really just multiplying it by itself. So you'll get 3 times 3, which is 9, and then 4 times 4, which is 16. Okay, that's the number that's going to be added inside the parentheses. Add over 16. Okay. Plus 1. Now we also are going to subtract what we just added inside the parentheses. Okay. And what we just added was 9/16 times 2. So really, it's going to be 9/16 times 2, which is going to be 9 over 8. So, I'm going to subtract 9 over 8. Okay, because we always subtract when we add to the problem. And what we added was 9/16, but really it's 2 times 9/16. That's why I did this operation over here. So this is a perfect square, which is always half of this number, and so what adds to itself is here, multiplies to itself here, which in this case is going to be 3 over 4, because 3 over 4 is half of this number, and 3 over 4, if we square it, is that number. On the outside, we have 1 minus 9/8. 1 minus 9 over 8, which is just like saying 8 over 8 minus 9 over 8, which results in negative 1 over 8. So negative 1 over 8. And that is how you complete the square when you have fractions.